Thanks for joining me today for my talk. I know that it's quite hard, to choose the best one, but I'll try to make it exciting, at least for those who are still, in that moment to AI or generally don't consider moving towards that direction. I mean, SitecoreAI. Yeah, just take a look at this title. The title is about preparing for moving towards that, right? And we are actually at that point in time where the platform itself is moving so fast that our habits cannot, move towards that. And may I please ask you a question? Who is still with Sitecore XM or Sitecore XP at the moment? Or whose clients there? Okay, so the target audience is here, so that's great. Can move further. Yeah, so basically, in my opinion, for 20 years, probably, yeah, Sitecore was everything around content. All the marketing features, all the analytics, all the stuff was around content. Today, I actually want you to convince that Sitecore is becoming the decision management system. Yeah, a couple of words about myself. For those who don't know me, I'm Alex, Sitecore enthusiast, and actually in my private life, I like horses, and I'm a collector also. So this is the part of my collection, and today I'm going to give away to someone who will be focused on the slides and answer a couple of questions. So yeah, just yeah, let's move further. As for agenda, we'll cover those 5 things. So we'll talk about that uncomfortable truth for developers, for product owners, about Sitecore AI and Sitecore XP. I'll try to show and give you my opinion what the agent is really. I'll describe that modern pattern that we use within our solution, and you'll probably think about how to apply it for your custom cases, and probably afterwards use it within creation of those applications and agents that in the future. We'll try a little bit go into that demo, not code-wise, but I'll try to make it live. And we'll actually try to think about why it still aligns with Sitecore AI, even if you don't want to move there. Okay. Yeah, actually that slide, where's my mouse? Yeah. Actually, that slide is supposed to be the final one. Sorry, not this one. A little bit of issues. Let's go back. Yeah, this one. Yep. So it is supposed to be the final one, but a good friend of mine recommended to put it as one of the first, because as we saw an example from a gentleman from Microsoft, it's good to have some history behind. So in 2016, we were actually building some pages, templates, layouts, and all that stuff. We were concentrated as developers, as marketers, on particularly on page as a unit. 2020 came and some headless appeared, APIs, connectors, etc. So our focus slightly switched towards that, but that was still content. And now 2026. So in my opinion, 2026 is the year of decisions, right? And this is not shift to AI, right? Because AI is just an instrument. This is shift to decision making, and developers are no longer building UI or UX or APIs because it can be done in seconds. What developers should define? They must define what signal actually matter, what decisions are allowed, and who actually approves those decisions, how they can be audited. It's a very important point. And the last but not least, how we can reverse the system back if AI done something wrong. That's the completely different responsibility if you think about that in this way, right? And honestly, in my opinion, the most interesting one, because we are not just shipping features, right? We are shipping behavior, the actual behavior of the system. Yeah. Let's go further to the truth, right? And the truth is actually SitecoreAI didn't replace developers. It replaced your page thinking. You shouldn't be focused on the page like as an item, right, of what you are doing. You should be focused on the decisions that we just talked about. And basically, your content, if you think about content-wise, should come out of that decision, but not in opposite direction. Yeah, moving further. So just take a look at this comparison. It's a little bit white, but I guess you see it, right? So basically differences between the flows, right? So initially was page, then component, and then we push them to and deployed, right? And now actually the flow is dynamic one, because we get the signal. The signal can be different for different types of businesses. Now, after that, based on the signal, we are actually creating some decision. What are we going to do next? And after the decision, we have that needed outcome. But yeah, let's definitely talk about what the agent is in that setup. So yeah, we hear actually that word everywhere: agent, AI, etc. But for Sitecore developer and for me personally, it's not the chatbot or any bot. It's definitely not a job, background job, or some task, scheduled task, or something like that. And even more, it's not the component. Does anyone have any idea why? Okay, because without, what is actually happening with those slides? Sorry. Second day, I know. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, without control, there's no production, right? So if you don't control the system, you don't control your production, and it's very dangerous. But in my opinion, the agent is a decision unit inside the government system. I know he's sweet. Yeah, and actually that decision unit, he must observe, he must evaluate, he must propose, he must act, and he should explain why we actually doing that. Going next. Yeah, that's the pattern I promised to show, the one that we use actually within implementing that functionality. And that's probably the only slide I need you to remember. But yeah, let's a little bit break it down and talk about all the components. So as you can see, signal, it's what actually changed within your solution, within your business, then why it matters, then what we do propose, and action is what we do, and governance, very important part. Who controls it? Remember that. And the last but not least, learning. I'll talk a bit later about that learning part. Yeah, and the governance itself contains on those parts. So approval, audit, explainability, rollback, and rate limits, not to burn your budget for AI. So yeah, ready to capture. Going faster into the demo, I'm not sure that you need to understand that architecture deeply, because I'm pretty sure based on your solution you can build your own architecture, but please follow those numbers. So if you map the pattern I've just showed, the numbers are very important, right? Because basically based on that pattern, we're going through that workflow, and then we have the needed outcome. But for those who really tired from any diagrams, code, etc., I've prepared that slide. So if you take a look, step number 1, signal detected. So the conversion actually dropped. Yeah, I named that agent as combined rescue agent, right? So I built it as a POC. We are using in a little bit different scenario, but I just decided that it's gonna be common for your customers. So your conversion dropped. So that's the signal. It came from Sitecore analytics or app insights. Then you identify the context, why it actually matters and where it's happening. So that's the mobile device, paid channel, and probably some item in Sitecore. Then the decision, actually, like before decision, you have those options. So the functionality proposed you a number of options. Basically, you can go different directions, and you can integrate. In our case, that's integrated into the Teams channel, right? So the marketer can come and see, okay, that's happened. The functionality recommends me option B. What is that? The reason is the following one. So the discount banner will directly address the cost sensitivity, and you're allowed to approve, reject that option, or maybe rollback. Then some magic happen within Sitecore using API. And step number 5, we actually have that evaluation. So your conversion going up. All that thing is actually stored within those databases that I showed you previously on the slide. And why it's important? Because basically you can put the human on the loop, but not in the loop. What does it mean? That means actually that for the already known problems like conversion dropped or some other stuff that the system already experienced with your business, functionality can actually automatically make those actions. Of course, it's based on your security and some other additional stuff, but the data is very important. So the final slides, I'll probably would like to say a couple of words that you really have already you need, and SitecoreAI is just an acceleration. But please think about those things, right? Because even if you move towards SitecoreAI, that architecture and that proposed pattern will help you, to make that decision and build your architectures further. Huge thanks for our sponsors and for our organizers, right? So please make a huge applause, not to me, but to them. And yeah, as I promised, this little guy will go to someone who asked the question. So on that flow, on that pattern, which actually part was the most important, in my opinion? Yes, it was quick. Okay. I have another question to you. What do you think? It's already on the halfway to you. What do you think? Why do we have 3 options? Sorry, I beg my pardon. Um, why do we have actually 3 options? Why can't AI just generate the best one, the recommended one, give it to you, and you can just click and that's all?
You still need human interaction with it to decide if that's actually the right decision.
Great. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Thank you.